Welcome to today's markets. 3 answers to your most common questions on fuel. Brought to you by your Market 360 advisory team.
Our first question deals with recent consumer price index data, which shows gas prices continue to slump and volatility has remained in check in the past months. Is there anything that we should be worried about in 2014?
I think there are a few things that we want to be aware of. First, typical seasonal moves heading into the new year are for a generally rising price scenario. That's just a typical pattern seen this time of year. The reason for that pattern is that diesel uses heating oil as its refined product. Diesel and crude typically move in unison, but that relationship becomes dislocated over the winter as people use heating oil to heat their homes and businesses, but driving is reduced. No one wants to drive in 5-degree weather, but everyone wants a warm house to come home to. Second, global political unrest is always a concern for the fuel market. The Middle East is the typical hotbed for this type of unrest. Recently, Libya cut production as rebel leaders failed to renationalize 3 of their oil ports. Iran has also made headlines recently with its nuclear arms declarations and ensuing agreements with the U.S. While we do not currently buy Iranian oil, China does, and they have proved very instrumental as of late in setting the global demand picture and therefore a major driver of price. The third wild card is U.S. production itself. Recently, we posted 4 straight weeks of 8 million barrels per day production. The last time we did this was 1988. A good portion of this boost in oil production is from the shale oil fields out in North Dakota. While this certainly helps decrease our dependency on foreign oil, it does point out that we are still producing less than 10% of the world's oil production, which is currently around 89 million barrels per day.
From a technical standpoint, what do you see as key support and resistance levels within the diesel market?
Over the next 3 to 6 months, we see a fairly narrow range. The blue lines indicate a tightening range in the 280 to 315 area, and we expect that trend to continue in the near future. One thing with ranges, though, is that they are eventually broken and a large move in one direction or the other usually develops. We work tirelessly to prepare clients for whatever the market may do, not predict where the market may go. For instance, if the trend is broken to the upside, the chart would point to a $4 objective. On the other hand, a breakdown in the current chart patterns would show a move toward the 240 area. If the 240 area is achieved, beware that the economy itself may be entering into a recessionary period, so the low fuel price in and of itself may not be overly helpful to your core business.
As a diesel purchaser, how is the price I pay for my fuel determined?
When you pick up your fuel bill, you'll see a few different line items. While some of these line items are negotiable, others are not. The first item you'll usually see is the largest charge on your bill, and that is the rack or wholesale fuel cost. This is the price that we've been talking about throughout this video. Diesel is traded daily at the New York Mercantile Exchange. While this price fluctuates, there are plenty of tools available to help you manage the price risk associated with your fuel cost. Your supplier will also charge a standard price for the necessary additives you need in your fuel. They will also charge you a transportation fee to get the fuel from them to you. Some of you may be in an area with multiple vendors. If this is the case, there may be a brokerage fee your supplier charges to call around and find your best deal for that day. This fee can typically be eliminated with proper negotiation. The next 2 charges are standard from the government, the EPA and the state and federal taxes. There is no escaping these charges as they are one of life's 2 certainties. The last is hedging activity, and this could be either a positive or negative figure. Either way, the goal of this charge is to bring stability to your fuel price. You add up these parts, and there's your fuel bill. Looking over the key parts that you can control can help whittle down costs. Saving money can add up over time and offer you a competitive advantage to win more market share or expand your profit margins. Thank you for listening to this edition of Most Frequently Asked Questions. To find out more about managing your fuel costs, please contact Rob Joyce or Mike Hogan at 800-334-9779. Thank you.